fabled heat, where magic meets desire. Subscribe to ignite the fantasy.
The neon glow of the forgotten quarter buzzed like a dying insect, a sickly, insistent hum that vibrated in my teeth. Rain, cold and relentless, seeped through the worn leather of my boots, each drop a tiny ice pick driving into my arches. It wasn't just the cold, though. It was the dampness that seemed to cling to my bones, mirroring the chill that had settled in my soul. 2 days. 2 days since I'd last tasted real food, and the gnawing in my stomach was a familiar companion. Hunger was manageable. It was the emptiness above the hunger that truly terrified me. A hollow ache, a vast, echoing space where memories used to reside. Fragments, ghosts of feelings, flickered at the edges of my awareness, but grasping them was like trying to hold smoke. The newspaper in my trembling hands was a soggy mess, the cheap pulp disintegrating with every touch. The ink had bled, turning the printed words into grotesque, shifting shapes, Rorschach blots mocking my fractured mind. But the headline, even blurred and smeared, was brutally clear. Local woman found dead in Memory Vault District. A photograph accompanied it, grainy and low resolution, but undeniably asterisk her asterisk. Sunken eyes, a forced, brittle smile. A smile I almost remembered. My throat constricted, a painful knot forming in my chest. I swallowed hard, trying to dislodge the lump. The name beneath the image, Lila Voss, hit me like a physical blow, stirring something deep within, something brittle and fragile, like the echo of a voice I'd once known, a warmth I'd once felt. Mother. It couldn't be I didn't remember asterisk selling that memory. The thought felt wrong, a violation. But then again, the brokers at the memory exchange weren't known for their ethics. They were vultures, preying on the desperate, the vulnerable. They'd take whatever they could pry loose: first kisses, the scent of a childhood pet, the sound of a loved one's laughter. All of it gone, siphoned into crystalline storage chips, polished and perfect for the wealthy to hoard like jewels. They traded in stolen lives, in fragments of souls. And I'd been a willing participant, hadn't I? Or had I been asterisk made asterisk to be? The question hung in the air, unanswered, lost in the swirling fog of my amnesia. A hand, surprisingly strong, gripped my shoulder. I jerked back violently, my heart slamming against my ribs like a trapped bird, and nearly collided with the woman standing behind me. She was all sharp angles and controlled power, a predator assessing her prey. Her leather coat smelled of ozone and something else, defiance, a scent that resonated with a forgotten part of me. Her eyes, a fractured gray, like storm clouds gathering over a steel sea, locked onto mine, and I felt a jolt, a spark of recognition that I couldn't place. They weren't warm eyes, they weren't inviting, they were observant, calculating. "You're Ilias Voss," she said. It wasn't a question. It was a statement, delivered with a certainty that sent a shiver down my spine. "Who's asking?" I hissed, crumpling the newspaper into a tight ball in my pocket. The paper tore, a small, insignificant sound in the din of the city, but it felt like a betrayal. She stepped closer, invading my personal space, her voice low and urgent, a silken rasp that sent a tremor through me. Her breath, warm and slightly spicy, brushed against my neck. "Your mother didn't fall down some stairs, Voss. She was murdered, and if you want to know why, you'll come with me." Her name was Anya. The name felt right, like a key unlocking a hidden chamber in my mind. She smelled like gunpowder and jasmine, a dangerous and intoxicating combination. Her touch, even through the layers of fabric, was electric, sending a jolt of energy through my veins. And she knew things about me, about my past, that I couldn't even remember, things that should have been lost forever. I hesitated, suspicion warring with a desperate, burgeoning hope. Could I trust her? Everything about her screamed danger, but the alternative, remaining lost in the fog of my amnesia, haunted by the ghost of my mother, was unbearable. "What makes you think I even asterisk care?" I asked, my voice rough, trying to project an indifference I didn't feel. Anya's lips curved into a sardonic smile. "Because I know what you've lost, Voss, and I know who took it from you." She paused, her gaze unwavering. "And because your mother, she was a good woman, she deserved better." I followed her reluctantly into the labyrinthine depths of the forgotten quarter. Anya's hideout was a stark contrast to the decaying streets above. It was a hidden sanctuary, a haven of stolen tech and flickering holograms, buried beneath the city's grime. The air hummed with the low thrum of illicit power, the scent of burnt circuits and ozone thick in the air. She moved like a blade through the dim light, her footsteps silent, her fingers dancing over consoles that pulsed with forbidden data. The walls were covered in screens displaying complex schematics, encrypted code, and surveillance feeds from across the city. Your mother worked for the resistance, she began, her voice sharp with urgency, cutting through the electronic hum. She was one of our best data runners. She specialized in infiltrating the memory vaults, retrieving stolen memories, and returning them to their rightful owners. I stared at her dumbfounded, my mother, a rebel. It didn't fit with the fragmented images I had, the fleeting impressions of a quiet, unassuming woman. The memory exchange isn't just a business, Voss, Anya continued, her eyes fixed on a holographic display. It's a tool of control. The consortium uses stolen memories to manipulate the population, to erase dissent, to maintain their power. Your mother was fighting against that. But why would she sell my memories? The question escaped my lips before I could stop it, a raw, desperate plea for understanding. Anya's expression softened just slightly. She didn't. They were taken. They specifically targeted your memories, Voss. They wanted to silence you, to erase your connection to her work. But what work? What was she doing? Anya turned to face me, her gray eyes filled with a grim determination. She was close to uncovering something big, Voss, something that could bring the consortium to its knees, a hidden archive, a repository of forbidden knowledge, and they killed her to keep it buried. She paused, then added, her voice barely a whisper, and now they're coming for you.